everyone. Welcome to episode 12 on our Linux series. So in this episode, we will discuss about few of the day-to-day commands which we use it in our day-to-day operations. In our previous episodes, we discussed about some for a few other commands as well. If you have not watched it already, please feel free to watch it. There will be a link in the description from which you can watch it. So in this episode, we will be discussing few more commands, how we can use it, and a very common concept of absolute and relative path, how it works in Linux. We will try to understand that as well. So without further delay, let's start it. So the first concept or concept about today's class is understanding the absolute path and relative path. So when it comes to multiple paths in Linux, we take consideration into two methods for understanding is one is your absolute path, one is your relative path. Okay, so when it comes to seeing a path, normally I showed you about my directory, which is nothing but this. So if I do pwd, so this particular path which you see, which is nothing but my home directory, is known as the absolute path. What does it mean? Any path which comes with the initialization of root. So this is the first thing as a root. If it comes alongside the complete path, or anyone has given a complete path about any folder or any directory, that is being considered as absolute path. Okay. Again, if let's say I go inside a built-in 10. Okay, so if I do pwd over here, you can see when I hit enter pwd, it always gives us the absolute path. Okay, which absolute path is nothing but comes with the complete destination of that particular folder along with the root directory. Okay, this root directory is nothing but /. How it goes, I will just tell you in a minute. Okay. Now, coming to the relative path. So when it comes to the relative path, it always start with your present working directory. For example, built-in 10, when it comes, you can consider the built-in 10 is known as your relative path. What is signifies? For example, let's say you are in a current directory, which is home, admin, etc., etc. If let's say I want to get inside built-in 10, okay, let's say cd built-in 10. Okay, so all this or this built-in 10 path, we call it as relative path, which doesn't come with a root directory. And we can do random operation within a present working directory, right? But when it comes to the absolute path, it always comes with the slash or root denomination so that you can go around it very explicitly. For example, there is one more path is cd etc. Let's say I want to go inside kernel. Okay, so with this absolute path, I can go anywhere in my file system. Okay, but with relative path, I can go when only I am inside that. For example, in this absolute path, I just want to get inside install.d. Okay, so doing random juggling around in your file system, we use relative path. But if we want to explicitly get inside a defined directory, we use absolute path. Now you will be thinking, what is the use of it and what is the practical use of it, right? So when we use absolute path, it is kind of a full address, which is very much essential when we write scripts or we try to run cron jobs, and we don't want to get inside a directory which is you must not get into in production environment. During that time, we use absolute path. But when it comes to working interactive within your terminal, that time relative path makes more sense, and navigating through folders quickly gives more sense, because most of the time you will not be remembering your absolute path. So navigating through folders quickly, we use relative paths for highest efficiency, as simple as that. And that is about using your relative path and your absolute path, right? Now, let's explore more about the file system. If you remember in our previous class, during our file system class, we discussed about Linux file system, and we saw multiple files and folders inside our root directory, where exactly those files are present and where and how to dig through it. If you want to go, you can use again cd command followed by /, which is nothing but getting into a root directory. When you hit enter, you will land into the root directory of your file system. So this directory is nothing but your root of your file system where all your system and kernel related files and folders are present, and all the folders have different purposes and different files which are present. You can recap that particular episode to understand more about this folder and what files are present inside it. But just give you a simple illustration. For example, let's say I want to see few files inside bin directory. If you remember what bin directory can have all the system related binaries or codes which required for running any of the command. Let's get inside. If I do ls-l, I can see this particular files which are nothing but the same command which we are running. If I search for ls, I can find the binary of it. So if you see here, this is the binary of ls, exact source code or exact code of ls, which is lying over here. Let's say I want to see it. Okay. So most of the binaries which are present over here can be accessible, neither can be accessible or cannot be accessible. What it does it mean? So some of the files inside this directory can be in the binary format, which cannot be viewed in a simple format. Okay, so in that case, how to know whether it can be seen or not? So we use some command called as file. Okay, so what it will do, it will show something like what is the binary, what is the type of this particular file, ls. So it will show something like this. So it will show something elf 64-bit lsb pi executable, which means it is an executable, not a script. Okay. So similarly, let's say I want to see this. So this is another command in Linux. Let's not get into it what it does, but I just want to see the source code. First, what I will do, I'll just check what is the type of this file. Okay, so here you can see it is saying it is a POSIX shell script in ASCII text executable. Okay, what it is, let's see. If I do this, here you can see this is the exact code how this command works or behaves. Okay, so that is how you play around with multiple files and folders inside your Linux, and you can see through different directories. Okay, so now here you might have seen what I did is, instead of writing it, what I did is I copied it. Okay, so copying a file on screen can be done in multiple ways. Okay, so what you can do, either you can double click via your mouse so that it will be selected, and you can hit right click, copy, or you can just do Control C and you can do Control V. It will be copy and pasted on your screen. So this is a shortcut. You can use it in your day-to-day activity. Okay. So this is about juggling or playing with or exploring the file system in general. Okay. So let's get into my home directory using cd clear. We have another command as well, which we call it as tree. So tree is a command which we use if you have 100 files inside a particular folder and you want to see an aerial view of it. We can use tree command. So what it will do, it will give the complete illustration on the files and folders which are present. For example, in this present working directory, this is the structure we have. Inside built-in 10 we have Sunday, YouTube, and inside built-in 10 other files and folders which are there. So this will give you an illustration of multiple files which are available in that present working directory. Okay, now moving on. The next option or next operation which we do is for locating any applications of or application code on it. So for locating any files or commands or applications where it is basically available, we use two type of command, which is which and another called as whereis. Okay, how it is used? Let's see. Let's say I want to see where exactly the binary of ls command is. Okay, we saw /bin in our root directory. Let's try to search it anywhere in my command prompt. What I do, I use a command called as which followed by ls. So which command will show exactly where your binary is lying. So in our case, it is usr ls. I can get inside it and I can see it. Okay, let's say I want to see exactly source as well as main files and associated other packages associated to it. I can use more powerful command or more alternative command, which will look for packages in a broader range in the system directories. So in that case, I will use whereis ls. Here you can see it not only showed where is the binary executable are present, but also it will show the associated, broader range of packages and other, files and folder associated to that particular application. So this command is very useful when you are working in production or you are working with lot of applications for configuration management, for locating the different version of a application like Java, Python, and all. So you can locate where exactly it is located, and you can do further operations around it. So I hope you use it. So the last command with it is we use reboot and shutdown. Okay. So if you want to reboot your box or reboot your Linux or restart your Linux, we simply use reboot. Okay. But this is a very extensive command which requires admin privileges, for which you need to use sudo. So without that, it didn't let me, but with sudo, it has let me do reboot it. Okay. So these are few of the powerful commands which requires extensive sudo privileges. So use it. You can club it with sudo so that you can perform that particular operations. Okay. So when it comes to rebooting a system, we just don't do it randomly. Okay. It's a good practice for doing it with a message. How to do it? Either you can use sudo for rebooting and shutting down immediately, but you can pass it on with an argument. How? You can do -h followed by the time. So this is the time with a message. You can mention shutting down for scheduled maintenance. Okay, so what this will do is it will schedule a shutdown. Okay, and also it will showcase message to other users as well who are logging in, and they can be notified that during this time the system is going to be shut down or rebooted for maintenance. Okay, so this is a standard practice which we follow for doing a rebooting or shutting down the machine. We just don't do reboot just like that. So there is a standard procedure which we follow, and that can be done with this command, and this is the command. So with that, we end this particular episode. Hope you like it. If so, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comment box. I will be watching all your comments, and hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching. See you in next video. Thank you.